What's going on, folks? Live from Tad Gormley Stadium in City Park. It is prep football right here on Crescent City Sports. And tonight, potential game of the year status. It is the Catholic League opener. Karr Cougars. What's going on, folks? I'm VK Jones. We appreciate you joining us tonight for this big-time, action-packed game here at Tad Gormley Stadium. Originally, this game was slated to be at Berman Stadium because this was an Edna Karr home game, but Coach Bryce Brown and Athletic Director Torres Howard made a big decision and realizing that how big this game and the crowd going to be, let's shift this thing across the water to Tad Gormley. Should be a great one tonight. Joining me tonight, my color analyst, legendary in the city of New Orleans, my mentor, my guy, Ro Brown. Good evening, Ro.
Thank you, VK. Legendary. I don't know. That's a little strong, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Great to be with you. Great
Absolutely.
to be with you.
And first time we're working together. I'm glad to have you on tonight.
This should be an outstanding game. Game that people have been looking forward to, as a matter of fact, as this season started. It's a historic game in that it's Karr's first game in District 9-5A, also known to most people as the Catholic League.
Absolutely, and it's a huge historical mark for Karr more than anything else. You look at the history of both schools. St. Augustine established in 1951. They joined the league, I believe, in the late 60s. So they joined the Catholic League, and it took them a while to get established with a lot of things going on legally in the courtroom through the LHSA. Crazy stuff as St. Augustine got established in the Catholic League. For Edna Karr, they were established in 1990 as a high school in Orleans Parish. For a long time, they were a junior high. And then all of a sudden, they got established in the LHSA, and a coach named Don Watney getting Karr their first ever state championship in, I believe, year number 2.
1993.
Yep, year number 2 of the football program, officially high school at Karr.
Interesting histories for both of these institutions. As you mentioned, St. Aug was founded in 1951 by the Josephite brothers, and of course they were in the LIALO, the Louisiana Interscholastic Athletic and Literary Organization, which was the governing body of high school sports for African Americans in the state of Louisiana. They filed suit in 1964 to get into the Louisiana High School Athletic Association, and they won that suit and entered the LHSAA in 1967. That was the first year that they competed against the rest of the white schools, so to speak, in the state of Louisiana. And the Karr's situation, like you said, they became a high school in 1990, a junior-senior high school. It was a junior high before, as you know, VK, and it was a junior high athletic power. It fed a lot of the schools, a lot of the high schools, you know, on the West Bank, on the East Bank. There were people from Karr Junior High all over the place. Became a high school. They got to keep some of those athletes there. And the result, as you said, under Coach Don Watney, they came up with the first of what is now, I think, 6 state titles.
And also setting the tone for St. Augustine, Otis Washington, who set the tone. Actually, was it Otis Washington or Eddie Flint?
Eddie Flint was the head coach at St. Augustine High School from 1962. He took over from Nick Connor. And Eddie Flint won championships in the LIALO in 1963, 65, and 66. And Otis Washington became the head coach in 1969, and he won 3 state titles. 1975, 78, and 79.
Absolutely. So that's a lot of history between both teams. Should be a very good one tonight. I hope Matt Merrick can hear us, and I hope you can just maybe get the camera to the left side if you could, because this is one of the most intimidating interests in high school football. And I tell you, the Karr Cougars are about to come out now if hopefully we can get them, because this is why high school football is so amped up and live. The purple smoke of the Karr Cougars as they're about to hit the field here as they open their first Catholic League game. You could say this is the initiation tonight.
Well, this is what they do every game. They're not just doing this because this is their first game in the Catholic League. They even do this at graduation.
Absolutely. It's a new tradition.
Yeah.
They call it the rock.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Everybody, the principal, the commencement address speaker, everybody's on the stage doing that, making that entrance.
You gotta love that. And then you have St. Augustine with Coach with Nick Foster. He started something new in his third year. He started something new his first year. He brings in an alumnus, a St. Augustine alumnus, and takes one of the players and honors them. And night is in really more of a knighting kind of a thing to, honor the player, give us some encouragement. But then after that, he gives them the sword and shield and go out and get the players out there, man. So I like that too.
I wonder really who is it this year, or who this week, I should say. Who was it this week? St. Aug comes in with a perfect 3-0 record. And we needed to mention at the top, thought we would, that Karr, yesterday they found out that they had one ineligible player, thus forfeiting their previous 3 victories. And so, officially Karr is 0-3. And, not much said about it. Well, the LHSAA never says anything about it, and they probably shouldn't. But an ineligible player, evidently it was, and that cost Karr their first 3 victories of the year. I guess they could say it's a good thing that it happened before district play. I guess you could look at it that way if there's a good side of it. But that's the story with that.
Right, absolutely. And now we looked at Karr, and this is a must-win for them today more than anything else. Now, St. Augustine Road, what you know about the Purple Knights? Good start for them this season.
Good start for them, absolutely. Of course, the big win last week, snapping that 17-game win streak by the defending state champions in 5A classification at Zachary. They went up to Zachary, come from behind situation 24-17. They defeated the #1 team in Class 5A, and then lo and behold, they come back this week and they got to play the #1 team in Class 5A right now. You know the situation with the quarterback, their starting quarterback, Dawson Simmons, was injured in the initial game of the year. Amari Cooper came in and took over and has been outstanding, completing 30 of 46 passes, no interceptions, and 9 touchdowns. He is just a junior.
Absolutely, and for Cooper, it's interesting in his situation, stepping in for Dawson Simmons, who really had a real good start, but at the same time getting hurt in the game over against DeSoto in the first game. Well, more of the preseason type game, but for Cooper, credit him and his hard work. So let's go ahead and let's give it over to the Karr Marching Band for tonight's national anthem. That was the Edna Karr Marching Band for tonight's national anthem. As we're about to get set to kick off, Roll, what's the key to this ball game tonight for both teams?
I think what I will be looking at, what I'm curious about, is that St. Aug has an outstanding defensive front. They've got some really good players up front. People like Gerard Gardner and Shane Payton Hodges, and they got some really good people up there. And Karr's offensive line did a really good job last week against Warren Easton. I mean, they had a couple of people rush for over 100 yards. Look for Deontay Jackson, the running back for Karr, number 22. He rushed for 218 yards last week against East Jefferson. So I think that's going to be the key, the first thing I'm going to look at. as far as, how this game will go.
Absolutely. As Karr won the toss, but they will defer to the second half. St. Aug will receive to start the ball game. Kicking off will be Jaden Hunter.
They lined up on the wrong end.
Wrong end.
So the official saying, no, you get over here and you get over here. First time I've seen that.
Yes.
I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened, but the first time I've seen it.
St. Aug and the all gold tonight, the alternate gold jerseys, purple numbers, number 28, Londell Caston, and 24, Keith Hill, waiting to return for the Purple Knights. Karr is in the home purple tonight. White numbers, gold trimmings in the purple Cougar helmet tonight. And then here we go as we kick it off. Saturday Night Football, and here we go right here, and here comes Hill. Hill will bring it up. Hill, Knights return, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
1st and 10, St. Augustine, and of course the man under center will be Amari Cooper, the junior signal caller who has stepped in very well. Some of his numbers before we mentioned, very efficient, 30 completions, 46 attempts, no interceptions, and 9 touchdowns.
Very much agreed. The receivers, you got Josh Johnson, Keyshawn Grimes, Karash Johnson, Devin Johnson. Backfield is loaded. Christian Langford and also Tyler Hayes. The offensive line very experienced with Tyree Adams, Jermaine Batiste, Albert Quest, Gavin McCoy, and Troy Smith. 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
Had a little equipment situation there that they had to take care of, and now we're getting started.
4 receiver sets. 3 to the right and 1 to the left. Purple Knights always in a no huddle in a shotgun formation. They get the snap, and they throw middle. Oh, incomplete. It was intended for Karash Johnson. Good defense right there, 13. Edward Brown with the breakup.
Coach Karash Johnson, in effect, was kind of, there was a hero of last week in the win over Zachary, it was Karash Johnson with the winning touchdown reception in that one. And 9 catches for 209 yards and 3 scores this year for Karash Johnson, who, of course, is the son of former St. Aug head coach David Johnson, now an assistant coach at Florida State.
2nd and 10 for the Purple Knights. The handoff, middle, nothing doing, no gain on the play for Clint Langford. Credit the D-line of Edna Karr, including Javante Harris with a nice tackle.
Straight handoff right up the middle, and the Karr inside was ready for it. Clint Langford has been the man who has carried most of the running load for the Purple Knights this season.
So now 3rd and 10 for the Purple Knights. They got to get to their own 34-yard line for a 1st down. 2 wide receivers, both to the left side. Back to pass is Cooper. He's going to throw it deep, incomplete. It was intended for Herbert Calise, and it'll be 4th down.
Trying to go up top that time to the tight end, as a matter of fact. With those wide receivers out there, you figured they would try to go in that direction, but they tried to get it to the tight end. Ball gone over on downs, 1, 2, 3, and punt. 1st one for the Purple Knights.
Stuart McCall back to punt. He does it all for the Purple Knights. He's kicking and he punts, but very consistent for the Purple Knights. Good snap. Rush coming. He kicks into it. A high punt. Fair catch is called, and he catches it. Karr will start inside their own 45-yard line, as Karr will hit the field as A.J. Samuel, the 3-year starter, make it 4-year starter for the Edna Karr Cougars, will go under center. And also we got 2 backfield mates that really has done well this year, Christopher Vasquez, and also the I think is Jackson, who was doing very well. Deontay Jackson has been done very well this year for the Edna Karr Cougars, and that backfield is loaded. But also the receivers, Tavis Williams, and also be on the lookout for Colin Lampton. So shotgun formation 4 receiver sets here. 2 on each side. And back to pass is Samuel. Samuel's going to take off. Samuel, and he goes towards and he's right there near the first down mark. It's going to be a yard short. Nice run there, 9-yard run for A.J. Samuel.
He's been playing, like you said, 3 and almost 4 years as a signal caller. I was teasing Coach Bryce Brown earlier this week. You know, he was an offensive lineman at Carr, and I said, Samuels has been there so long, I think you blocked for him.
1st and 10. It was enough for a first down. The snap and a handoff and a nice run right there. And that is Vasquez with the carry. And a 5-yard carry there for Vasquez.
Chris Vasquez is a little powerful runner. 30 totes this year, 173 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's a power guy. He will run through tackles.
2nd and 5. Handoff again. Vasquez. Oh, he gets hit up right there. Credit the Purple Knights. And 32, Caleb Blanco with the tackle.
Like that tackle. Looked like it was a form tackle. Took his feet out. As I just mentioned, Vasquez, he'll run through tackles. So if you can do that to a guy like Chris Vasquez, you are tackling correctly.
3rd and 5 for Carr. They got to make it 3rd and 4. They got to get to the Purple Knights 36 for a first. Samuel with 4 wide receivers, a man in motion. Back to pass, Samuel. Pressure's coming, deflected, picked off. Purple Knights will get the football.
Looked like it was Shane Peyton Hodges with the hit.
Shane Peyton Hodges with the pressure came through, and the ball got knocked up, and it was picked off. Jari Garner with the pick.
Okay, that's 2 of those defensive linemen I told you about before. Those 2 down linemen. They have an outstanding defensive front. Nick Foster told me earlier this year that he thought he had the absolute best defensive line in the entire state. And it showed it right there with Shane Peyton Rogers coming up with that hit and one of his teammates on the front line getting the interception, a fumble.
1st and 10, handoff middle, only about a yard or 2 for Langford. It'll be 2nd down. Only a 2-yard gain. And you're right, and I've been hearing about that D-line for St. Augustine. Very ferocious, and probably maybe the toughest test for the Cougars this season tonight. 2nd and 8. The handoff, Langford going to the right side. Langford, first down and more, 35-30, and goes out of bounds. Good run there by Clint Langford. 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
As I mentioned, Clint Langford is the guy who's carried the load this season as far as moving the ball on the ground. Looking good on that run. He's a senior, 5'10", about 190 pounds. I don't know if he's that big. I think they're fledging on that, but he can run.
Maybe about 170, 175. 1st and 10 Purple Knights. The handoff, again, middle. Nice run there. And it's Langford once again. Look like he is the workhorse for the Purple Knights so far. It'll be 2nd down. And it's actually a 6-yard gain, so it will be 2nd and 4. No huddle. Either team, both teams play a no huddle offense, shotgun formation. Langford is hit up. Good job, Jonathan Bax. He read that one right there. And that's a big tackle there to be 3rd down.
That's a big tackle by a big-time prospect. Probably not as big as he will be a little bit later on this season. Jonathan Bax has already committed to Texas Christian University, TCU, but I've got a feeling that people are still working hard on him. He is one of the best prospects in the area.
And is a big-time 3-yard loss, 3rd and 7 for the Knights. And back to pass. Cooper pump face throws it incomplete. Great coverage by the Cougars and Ryan Robinson. It'll be 4th down.
Ryan Robinson is another guy who is already committed. He is committed to the University of Nebraska, #1 out there on that corner. They have a very good secondary. They have a talented secondary, and St. Aug will have to go for 3.
And they will go for the field goal, and it's Stuart McCall, and he's at the 30-yard line, so it will be a 40-yard field goal for Stuart McCall.
And he can hit this.
Snap down. Kick is up for McCall. He's got the distance. No good. He just missed it right to the right. So Karr will get it 1st and 10.
Stuart McCall is a guy who has had a lot to do with this rivalry. 2 years ago, St. Aug and Karr played in a hastily scheduled game, because of some problems with COVID and that sort of thing. And it was Nick Foster's first year as head coach at St. Aug. He's just come over from Karr as an assistant coach. A lot of ties between these two teams, between St. Aug and Karr. We can get to that a little bit later. But McCall hit a field goal that was the game-winning points. 27-26, St. Aug defeated Karr back in 2020.
1st and 10 for Edna Karr. They're starting inside their own 21-yard line. 8:06 left in your first quarter. Back to pass. A.J. Samuel looking incomplete. That pressure up front came quickly to Samuel.
He totally missed the wide receiver on the slant, and you're right, VK. A lot of it had to do with the pressure coming from that St. Augustine defensive front. I thought that would be one of the keys to look at in this game, and thus far in the first 4 minutes of this contest, the St. Aug defensive front has shown its might.
You got Peyton Hodges, Harris, Connolly, and Garner. They are pretty tough, and they're showing it so far. 2nd and 10. Karr Cougars got to get to their own 30 to continue the drive. And here's Samuel back to pass toward left side caught. And they're going to keep going, and it's close. Let's see where the marker is. And
it looks like he'll first down.
It looked like he's close to a first down. They're going to say he did. 1st and 10 for the Edna Karr Cougars.
That was Keelan Lampton, I think, number 4 with the reception there. So 4 receptions this year, 89 yards.
1st and 10. And they go to Lampton on the screen. Lampton slips. Here we go. Lampton, midfield, and a first down. That could be another flag. Yes, it does. It'll be 15 more yards for Edna Karr.
Well-executed play, and Lampton there showing his speed down that sidelines. Bryce Brown was an offensive lineman, but he likes to throw the ball. That just which is kind of different. He likes to throw the football. And we had a really rough tackle there. Is there a horse collar by the neck or whatever, and it was by Clint Hill. Good little linebacker, just a freshman for St. Aug. You'll be hearing his name a lot the next 3.5 years.
Absolutely. So it'll be 1st and 10. The 15-yard penalty puts the Cougars to the Purple Knights' 30-yard line. A good drive here for the Cougars. Shotgun formation, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Man in motion here. Samuel, he'll go out. It's Williams. Oh, good hit there. He makes the catch, but he pays the price. 11 with the tackle, Bobby Kennedy.
Obviously, they see something on the flanks because they're hitting all these passes on the flank. Maybe they feel like they're giving him too much room. But that one, just a little pop pass right there, and he picked up some yardage, but he paid for it, as you said, VK.
2nd and 8 for the Cougars. And the keeper for Samuel. He's going to go to the other way, the right side. Here's a block in front, out of bounds. And that's going to be enough for Cougars' first down.
A.J. Samuel can also do the job with his legs. Just last week against Warren Easton in that big 67-20 victory, he had about a 34-yard touchdown run, and he's showing his legs there, reversed his field, and goes out of bounds with the first down.
He was trapped to the left side. And now 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Back to pass. They get the screen out, and they get away. And it goes inside, and it should be a first down for the Cougars. And that is 82.
That's Tyrone Wilson. Once again on the flank, and we got a flag on the play, it appears.
And the Purple Knights, they got to really hold on to their tackles. Another slip tackle there, and extra yards for the Cougars, but a flag is down. This is going to be critical here. Personal foul, face mask on the Purple Knights. That will add 15 yards. And that'll be 1st and goal coming up for Edna Karr.
This drive started back on their 20-yard line. And they've had some big plays by air.
1st and 10 for Edna Karr, and goal for Edna Karr inside the 3-yard line. The handoff, and he's busted open right there. Good job by the D-line of the Purple Knights. You got Peyton Hodges and also number 10, Cornell Harris, making a huge play. Harris has been kind of nicked up a little bit most of the season, but he's very strong for the Purple Knights.
There's that defensive front again. And do we have a timeout? It's 6:38 to go in the first quarter, so I don't think it's time for a hydration.
Nah, it's every 6 minutes each quarter, so
yep. Both teams headed that way as if it was time for the break, the hydration break, which I think is a good rule in the month of September, especially on a hot day. It's hot down there on that field today.
It's like 100-something degrees down there.
It is very warm and very humid.
2nd and goal. Now DeAndre Jackson in for the Karr Cougars. They back to passes. Samuel will throw it, and it's a touchdown for the Karr Cougars. Big time play right there, and that is Wilson from 3 yards.
Faked us out on that.
Did they?
I didn't see it. A.J. Samuel showing his ball wizardry on that one. And coming up with the touchdown pass from about 4 yards out to, I think it was to Tyrone Wilson.
Tyrone Wilson,
number 82.
Yes, sir.
So, giving the Cougars the first points of this contest.
6-0 your score. And Hunter for the extra point for Karr. Snap down. The kick is up. Kick is good. 6:15 left in your first quarter. 7-0. Edna Karr strikes first blood in the battle of the purple and gold right here in the Catholic League opener. VK Jones and Ro Brown with you from Tad Gormley Stadium for this Saturday night special. We thank you for joining us tonight. What a drive. 80-yard drive for Edna Karr as they get in the end zone. A.J. Samuel to Tyrone Wilson from 4 yards.
The thing about this Karr Cougar team, Bryce Brown, as I should mention, he has been on the job since 2015. So this is his 8th season as head coach. He has won 4 state titles. I think he's been to the finals 7 times in those 8 years. His record, and I kind of just counted this myself, is 88-11. Of course, if you count the 3 forfeits that came about yesterday, that makes it 85-14. But that is an amazing record. This is a team that's really very disciplined. They do things right most of the time, and not to mention that they do have some talent, but they're very disciplined.
Absolutely. It was kicking off right here. And here we go, Purple Knights will return it from the 20. And Hill looking for a lane. Credit the Karr Cougars with the coverage, and it'll be 1st and 10 for St. Augustine. And remember, for Bryce Brown, he's been at Karr a long time. This is probably overall, like you mentioned, 8th season as a head coach, but he's been at Karr for over 15 years. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator under Jabbar Jalouk.
He's been there longer than that because he's a Karr graduate.
Absolutely.
He played for Jabbar Jalouk.
Yes.
A 2004 graduate from Karr, as a matter of fact.
I think him and Nick probably played together 1 year.
They got out of Karr the exact same year, class of 2004.
And handing off, and it up the middle and nothing doing. Only probably a yard for Clint Langford. Karr's defense stepping in, but nice positive yards, at least 4 yards on the play for Langford.
And it should be time for a hydration timeout.
Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and take it with them. This is Prep Football right here on Crescent City Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's coverage of Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market. And there must be a reason. And don't forget, coverage also comes courtesy of Metairie Bank. At Metairie Bank, your success is personal to us. We have always been the biggest advocates for our customers and the community. Metairie Bank is locally owned and operated, built on the time-tested foundation of relationships and trust. Visit MetairieBank.com to learn more. Metairie Bank, a member of FDIC.
Thank you, Ro. Definitely appreciate it. Welcome back. We just getting out the heat and hydration break. Heat and humidity timeouts we have every 6 minutes of the quarter as we get back to live action on 2nd and 6 up the middle. Good run there by Langford. Close to the first down. He'll be short. It'll be 3rd down and make it 3 yards to go.
Short yardage situation. The first one for the Purple Knights. As you said, 3rd and 3. Langford, the only ball carrier, I think, on the evening for the Purple Knights thus far, and that's how it's been most of the year.
Absolutely. And they usually mix between 2 and 3 backs, but so far, Langford is the guy Nick Foster's going with. 3rd down and 3. Purple Knights got to get to the 39. And Langford, nothing doing. Jonathan backs with a huge play there for the Cougars.
There's that man again, number 7, Jonathan Bax. The TCU commitment does not have his hand on the ground this time, but makes the contact behind the line of scrimmage and the very clean tackle on Clint Langford.
Absolutely, and here Purple Knights sending the punt team out. Stuart McCall will be the punter. And waiting to return will be Kyron Lampton. Good snap. Rush coming. He gets it off. High kick. A good punt. It'll be returned at the 27. Here comes Lampton. Lampton with the blocks. Here come the Cougars. He goes all the way. Touchdown! Kyron Lampton from 73 yards. 13-0 for the Cougars. Wow.
Well, there's that outside speed that we talked about that the Cougars have. This is probably the first year in a while that Karr has not had a 4 or 5-star wide receiver. You know the names from the past, people like Rayson McMath,
yes.
Deshaun Dixon, Speedy Noyle. It's been a list of them. This year they don't have that kind, but they have people with talent like that man right there, Kylan Lampton. He got a lane, he went down the sideline and beat an angle there on a couple of people. Kind of reminded you of last year when they had Mr. Anderson, who is now in Alabama.
Yes, Aaron Anderson, indeed. Looks like there was a whistle right there. It is all sides on the Purple Knights on the attempted extra point. As the Karr Cougars going to re-kick. Kyron Lampton has really worked hard and to get in this position. Now he's a senior. He's been coming up over the years, especially through special teams, especially as a young receiver. Now he has matured to being a starter, but not just that. One of the big-time leaders of this team this season.
He comes in with, not big numbers because, they spread things around so much. Last week against Easton, he had 4 catches for 89 yards, which was his best game of the year. But that particular play may have been his best play of the year. Snap,
kick is down and up and through for Hunter. And we got 4:35 left in your first quarter. Fireworks early for the Karr Cougars. 14-0 on the St. Augustine Purple Knights. Right here on Crescent City Sports from Tag Gormley Stadium. VK Jones and Ro Brown with you tonight. The legendary Ro Brown. And, so far, good fireworks here early.
That was a lightning situation. That came from nowhere. As I said, throughout the night, there's so many connections between these two programs right now. Because of both head coaches are products of Edna Karr and, some of the assistants, and you got some children of people who are, graduates of, both schools. There's some connections you'll come up with, and we'll talk about that during the year. But, like I said, Nick Foster, his 3rd year here, doing an outstanding job at St. Augustine, really has things going in the right direction. They call this a Jabbar Jalou Classic, and we'll tell you why in a little while.
And here's the return for the Purple Knights. And a fumble on the play. And the Cougars will have it, and they have blocks in front. The Cougars with one-man touchdown! And that is Brennan Harris with the fumble return for the touchdown. Wow! What a turn of events early. Purple Knights try to return, and it was Kennedy who tried to go up the field, and he loses the ball. Brennan Harris, he picks it up and goes in 28 yards on the fumble return for a touchdown. Wow.
Special teams.
Special teams.
2 consecutive special teams play. Touch scores, I should say.
And usually that is a critical part
let's
you
wait
need.
For this extra point here and see what.
Snap down, the kick is up. It is good. And it's good for Jaden Hunter. He's 3 for 3 on extra points. That is huge, especially coming into the Catholic lead.
Fumble return by, you said, number 28, Brennan Harris.
Yes.
Just a junior, a defensive back. Probably his first touchdown of this season. Might be the first touchdown of his career. And it comes at a very good time. Punt return for 6, and now a fumble return on a kickoff for another 6, and that really puts the Cougars out there 21-0.
Wow.
Very quickly.
Very, very quickly indeed. And Harris had some real good plays over his career a little bit. Remember, he made the game-winning interception last year against Warren Easton to put the game away on the Hail Mary.
So he has had some big plays.
Yes, indeed. So good, big start here for Edna Karr. Wow. So right now, Hunter Wool kicking off for the Edna Karr Cougars. Purple Knights will be ready to return it. And it will be Hill returning. He's one of the returners, Keith Hill.
Yeah, Hill is the other running back, we should say that, usually, I mean, they have 3 or 4 running backs that they use, but Hill is one of the
Hill will start it off from the 8. Hill will pick it up. Good return by Keith Hill. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
As I said, Keith Hill is one of the other running backs that comes in and spells Clint Langford. He's done a good job. I know he had some good runs in the first game of the season against McDonough 35, I think it was. And so at St. Aug, they're not just a one-back team. They have some other people who can carry the load for the Purple Knights.
And this is a big drive here for St. Augustine. They got to really get on this scoreboard. The one thing about Edna Karr you don't want to face is a mad Edna Karr, especially what didn't happen yesterday. 1st and 10. The handoff, Langford bounces out. Langford with a nice run for St. Augustine, and he'll have the 1st down for St. Aug.
Clint Langford, as I said, leading rusher on this team, 38 carries, 267 yards, and 9 touchdowns coming in. 2 touchdowns, coming into this game with the 1st down run right there, 1st and 10 Purple Knights.
And it will be 4 wide receivers in the shotgun. The handoff again. Ever see the play action goes middle, incomplete. And it was intended for Karaz Johnson, and it will be 2nd down.
Just a little high on that one. Amari Cooper, the junior quarterback, is very accurate on slant patterns. I'm pretty sure that he will probably hit one for substantial yardage at some time tonight, but he's accurate. His accuracy is one of his strong traits.
And I think it's maybe just a little nervousness for Cooper, a little bit, because the stage keeps getting bigger and bigger. And a handoff, and it is Langford. Langford, he's only going to get maybe a yard. Credit 99 for Edna Karr. Ryan Ross with the tackle.
Coming up with our 2nd, 3rd down situation for the Purple Knights, if my memory serves me correctly, on this evening.
Yes.
Looking to the bench for the sideline for the next play call, and let's see what they come up with.
And there was no gain on the play, so it's 3rd and 10. Purple Knights got to get to their own 49 for the 1st. And back to pass. Cooper looking. Pump fakes, throws a wide open card. 1st down for the Purple Knights. Good connection right there. And that is Brandon Sterling with the catch.
Amari Cooper can run. The thing about Amari Cooper is that for a young quarterback, he goes through his progressions. He reads. He goes through his progressions.
But a flag is
he
down.
Doesn't take off right away.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on Edna Karr. That adds 15 more yards. And that'll be big for the Purple Knights, and this could be big field position for them.
So we'll tack on another 15 yards, and that's very good for the St. Augustine Purple Knights, trailing 21-0 to Karr with 3:48 to go in the first period. You know, they need to get some points right here. They don't want to come up empty and then perhaps have Karr hit another big play.
Very much agreed. Very much agreed. This is a huge drive for them, for their confidence, and for them to be in this game. 1st and 10 Purple Knights as they are on the Edna Karr 33-yard line. Man in motion in the shotgun. The handoff and nothing doing. And that's a loss right there. And credit number 20, Ramaj Walters with the tackle.
Defensive end, he is a senior. And he smelled that one out. Of course, he had some company. He made the initial contact, but there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Karr Cougars in by the time he hit the ground.
Ahmad Lewis also assisting on the tackle. 2nd down and 12 for the Purple Knights. They got to get to the Karr 24 to continue to drive. And now Cooper throws slant caught. Good catch and more. And 1st and 10 for St. Augustine. And that's Amari Cooper to Keyshawn Grimes.
Like I just said, Amari Cooper likes that slant pattern, and he throws it very well, hitting him right on the numbers. And 1st down, Purple Knights, they are in business in the red zone now, 15-yard line.
Yep, and 1st and 10 for St. Aug, and 4 wide receivers in the shotgun. Handoff, Langford. He's going to cut back to the right side. Langford to the 5. Goes in the end zone. Touchdown, Purple Knights. 15-yard touchdown for Clint Langford. 21-6. Still a 2-score lead, but St. Aug on the scoreboard.
Very important possession there for the Purple Knights. That was a really good drive and a really good answer because this game could really get away from them. Langford has good feet, makes that good cut, and heads for the flag and gets in for the first points of the night for St. Augustine.
Stuart McCall for the extra point for St. Augustine. Snap down, the kick is up, and he got it. 2:44 left in your first quarter. 21-7. St. Aug gets on the board. Edna Karr still up in a good Catholic League opener here tonight from Tad Gormley Stadium. VK Jones, Roe Brown with you. Saturday night prep football right here on CrescentCitySports.com via YouTube. So we appreciate you joining us, giving us the high volume tonight. Big crowd so far, still filing into the stadium, and is expecting a huge crowd tonight. That's why this game was moved from Berman Stadium to Tad Gormley Stadium tonight.
21-7 Karr with the lead, and this one has had its share of fireworks early because we're still in the first period. I was going to mention Nick Foster, of course, and Bryce Brown were teammates, classmates at Edna Karr. Then they coached under Jabbar Jalouk. Jabbar Jalouk, of course, a St. Augustine High School student athlete, went on to signed with Tulane, went to junior college, and ended up playing at Southern, and of course became a very successful head coach, leading the Cougars to their second state title back in 2013, I think it was. And then, of course, he went on and he's had some college assistant jobs. He's been at LSU, he's been in a few places, and right now he is an assistant coach at the University of Florida. Both of these coaches consider themselves mentors, consider having been mentees of Jabbar Jalouk. So they kind of call it the Jabbar Jalouk Classic.
And here comes the kick from McCall, goes in the end zone. It'll be automatic touchback. Carl was starting inside the 20. And you're absolutely right. So that's a new classic more than anything else. Besides the Don Watney Classic with Easton and Carr, yeah, this can be the Jabbar Jalouk Classic. But one of the greatest things I can say ever happened to Edna Karr to this day, the coaching staff under Jabbar Jalouk, all majority Edna Karr graduates. So
and
you just knew.
way.
Exactly. You just knew right there when Jabbar Jalouk leaves, there was going to be just fine. Karr was in good hands, and especially when Bryce Brown became the head man years after. 1st and 10 for Edna Karr. 4 receiver sets, 2 on each side. Man in motion. And here's the handoff. Jackson, nothing doing. Purple Knights defense ready on that one. Jari Garner with the tackle.
There's that defensive front. We've said the names already. You know, Shane Peyton Rogers, Jari Garner. Kyron Border is up there also. You know, Kyron Border is another one who's up.
And he has a lot of experience. Border is very nice.
Yep. He has a commitment, I think, from University of Georgia.
2nd 13, and here's Samuel, and a leap over, and it's Tavis Williams, 1st and 10. Good job by Williams. He made the catch and made a daring move. Actually, correction, Teron Francis with the catch. You look at the replay right here. Samuel gets it to Francis, a block, and he jumped over a player, and he gets the 1st down. What an effort.
Looks like we're walking it back, though.
And it looks like it is a penalty. Let's see. I didn't see the flag myself.
I didn't either, but they're walking backwards. But that was an outstanding athletic play by that young man. Supposed to be a young group of receivers, and you're not as talented as Karr receiving cores of the past, but doesn't look that way looking at this game. And here's the call.
And it's a personal foul. It's an illegal chop block on the Karr Cougars. That one pushed him back.
Okay.
Wow. So now Karr's pushed back inside their own 9-yard line. Oh, wait, hurdling. What?
Well, you know, I always hear
goodness.
Deuce McAllister say that people shouldn't hurdle tacklers. So Deuce would like that rule.
He probably would, but I'm shocked at that rule. Back to pass. Samuel setting the screen, incomplete.
Yeah, they tried to run a middle screen on that one, and it may have been there. However, the receiver couldn't hold on to the pass. Yeah, that's interesting. You can't hurdle over, you know. I don't like that rule.
I don't like that either. Like, what else you want the player to do? You're going to let the tackler tackle you?
Yeah, that's rules are different in high school and in college and the pros. And
of course.
That's one that in high school that, I don't know about that.
You're right. And 3rd down now, back to pass. Samuel, he's got times going deep. Right side. Karr, 1st down. That's a huge catch right there. Makai Paris with the catch for the Cougars. 1st and 10.
Samuel's going up top on that one, going downfield. And as you said, Makai Paris, who's had a good career at Karr. The defender didn't see the ball, couldn't pick up the ball, but the receiver did.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1st and 10, big 1st down. They're inside the Purple Knights 49. Back to pass, and a catch by Paris again, and good yardage. 9-yard gain. A.J. Samuel, Makai Paris.
Okay, that was about a 40-yard reception on the previous play, and Makai Paris picks up another 9. So he's having a good night just on those 2 plays.
Very much so, very much so. It just shows how strong this receiving core of Edna Karr is. 4 receivers in the shotgun here. 2nd and 2. It was an 8-yard gain. Karr's got to get to the Purple Knights 39. Back to pass is Samuel. Samuel has a little time. Pressure's coming. Samuel looking. He's going to throw it. Deflected, incomplete.
Ooh.
And almost caught by Brian Sanchez. But got to be careful on that one, man. That's a dangerous throw.
He had all day, and then he made some time with his legs. Samuel's an experienced quarterback, been through a lot of the wars. I thought he was going to run for a while, and he probably got hit after he released that pass. Incomplete, and that makes it, what, 3rd down now?
Yeah, it should be third down and short. 3rd and 2. Or unless a flag was down. Hold on.
Penalty again.
So it was a 5-yard penalty. Probably wasn't an eligible man downfield. So it's a 5-yard penalty, so it'll be 2nd down. I didn't see the flag.
Referee give a
right
signal. I mean, he may have, but I didn't see it. Anyway.
And here we go, 2nd down. Again in 7, and good catch and run. That's close to a 1st down for Brian Sanchez.
He's got the first down.
Enough for the first for Karr, but it looked like a flag down, possibly on the other side. Yes, it is a flag down. We have seen at least 3 straight penalties.
Well, if it's a third straight penalty against the Cougars, I'm sure Coach Brown won't be happy about that.
And here's the thing. I talked about it with a couple people. Like, sometimes you might get a lot of flags in this league. Personal foul, and it's Edna Karr. That's going to move them 15 yards. That's, you can say, part of the Catholic League initiation.
Initiation?
Yes.
Well, what do you mean?
You know, when you go into new ventures, you're going to go through some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, the last time I seen an initiation was Hineville going against St. Aug in 1993 in Hineville's first year in 5A, and you seen what happened with that. But so far, good start for Karr. But right now, the big thing we did say was a bit of flags in this league sometimes you're going to see. Maybe a lot more than you think you do. 1st and 10, shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers. The handoff is Jackson going to the, actually is Samuel who kept it. He went down. Good job by the Purple Knights who read that one right there. And it is Harris with the tackle.
Did he lose possession for a little while? It looked like he juggled it or something. Trying to make the handoff. Nonetheless, it's lost on the play.
Absolutely. And that is the final play of the first quarter. Your score, the Edna Karr Cougars leading the St. Augustine Purple Knights 21-7. We're going to take a timeout. This is Prep Football right here on Crescent City Sports.
Ready to come back?
And welcome back as we're about to start the second quarter. This Catholic League opener between the St. Augustine Purple Knights and Edna Karr Cougars. Edna Karr 21-7. VK Jones and Roe Brown with you from Tad Gormley Stadium.
And happy to be here with you.
Yes, yes, me too, man. This is a great night tonight. Shout out to Crescent City Sports, Ken Trahan, letting us get a chance to spread our wings tonight right here on Crescent City Sports. 4 receiver sets. 2nd down and 13 for Karr. They got to get to the Purple Knights 43-yard line for a first down. Good thing is the sun is starting to go down, and we're starting to see a little better. Handoff. It's going to Jackson. Jackson bounces out left side, and Jackson will keep going. Good yardage there by DeAndre Jackson, and it will be 3rd down.
DeAndre Jackson last year in the big win over Warren Easton had touchdown runs of 94 and 65 yards. He can fly. He's been clocked at 10.5 at 100 meters on the track.
And he is a fast one. Last week, what he did to Edna against Warren Easton was absolute criminal. Absolute criminal. 3rd down and 7 yards to go. And Karr's got to hurry with one back to pass. Samuel going deep right side, wide open, incomplete. Ooh. It was intended for Kyron Lampton. Lampton had a step on the Purple Knights secondary, and Samuel just missed him.
Tried to go up top again. trying to go for it. Like I said, it's just really surprising. You got a head coach who's been an offensive lineman as a player and coached offensive lineman as an assistant, but he loves to throw the football.
And what
I don't know if I know any other person like that.
And what I heard about Bryce, he worked so hard as a coordinator. But you had to think, he started as an assistant early, even when he was in college.
Right.
He would usually go to Grambling and usually come home and, you know, he spends the week at Grambling, comes home to Carr, and helps out with staff.
No, he's a smart guy. Finished in about 3 years or whatever it was in college and ended up coaching at his high school alma mater just a few years after he graduated.
And Carr punts in the fair catch by the Purple Knights, Keith Hill. So 1st and 10 for St. Aug. It'll be 1st and 10. They will start inside their own 17. And you mentioned about rules. The one thing I do want to see one of these years, bro,
and that is
have some of the rules lined up with the pros. College, high school, and NFL across the board. So we won't have no difficulties.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure there are reasons why rules vary from level to level, so to speak. You know, I mean, some of it, I mean, you can look at the hash marks. I don't want to stop this play, but this play didn't go anywhere. So
not at all. Langford with the carry.
I didn't stop the play, but the Carr defensive front did.
Oh, it did. Rashad Gonzalez with the tackle.
No, I guess, you know, I mean, you know, the field was a little different because the hash marks are different places, so maybe that might have something to do with it. The athletes, the level of, you know, physical ability of the athletes, you know, they don't break at 6 minutes of every quarter during the month of September in the pros and in college, although they probably wouldn't be a bad thing if they did that.
Cooper, good throw and catch as Devin Smith came back to the ball, getting the catch. Good positive yards for the Purple Knights.
Devin Smith came into this contest with 3 receptions, 136 yards, and 1 touchdown. But that was a really nice catch there, keeping his feet in bounds, and a nice throw by Amari Cooper for a 3rd down situation.
3rd down and make it 5 yards to go. Purple Knights got to get to their own 27 to continue to drive. 4 receivers, and it's 3 to the right and 1 to the left here for Cooper. And Cooper back to pass. He's going to throw it deep, incomplete. And he was trying to go to Karras Johnson, and it was double covered. Good coverage by the Carr Cougars.
It was well covered. There were 2 Cougar defenders back there. One of them, of course, is number 21 on the corner. Levi Darrensburg on the coverage, and 4th down, and the Knights will have to punt.
And Stuart McCall back to punt for the Purple Knights. He'll punt it inside the 6-yard line. Kyron Lampton waiting to return for the Cougars. He already has a punt return touchdown tonight. Snap and the kick into it. High kick. And it will take a St. Aug bounce as Cougs will start inside the Carr 47-yard line.
Good field position for Edna Karr on that one. Not your typical punt by Stuart McCall, who, by the way, is a senior now. And as we mentioned, he gave the game-winning points the last time these 2 teams played 2 years ago, that 27-26 victory for the St. Augustine Purple Knights. He was just a sophomore, came up with that kick. One of his first high school games, however. Now he's more mature, larger. He's a good punter. Kicker. I expect him to be in somebody's college doing that next year. By the way, he is tutored by Vinnie Burns, who is an outstanding punter and kicker here at St. Aug and then at Virginia Tech.
He was amazing at Virginia Tech, and he was one of my teammates as well. Back to pass. Samuel gets away. He's going to take off. Samuel, he'll get the 1st down. Put in the car, and an extra 15 yards is about to be added with the flag. Purple Knights with some very little mistakes, and it's costing them right now. It's 1st and 10 for Edna Karr.
A.J. Samuel once again scrambling, showing his athletic ability, and for the 2nd time, that's a personal foul on number 20 for St. Augustine, the young linebacker I told you about, Clint Hill. He had another personal foul, I think, in the first period with that hard tackle there,
Right,
right there on the sideline.
And Clint
He's
Hill's
just a freshman,
yes,
and I guess he'll grow up.
Yes, he will. 1st and 10 for Edna Karr. Now they're inside the Purple Knights 24-yard line. 4 wide receiver sets, back to pass, Samuel. Samuel has time. Samuel going deep. Wide open, Karr! Touchdown! 25 yards. A.J. Samuel, Tavis Williams, 27-7 Cougars.
Beautifully executed pass. Good protection. Look at the pocket right there. Samuels had time to step up into that throw and step up into it. He did perfectly in the back of the end zone to Tavis Williams.
Wow. And that's where the 4-year experience comes from. Samuel, he's been doing it a long time. Extra point coming up for the Cougars. Snap down, the kick is up and through. 4 for 4 on the extra points for Jaden Hunter. 10:29 left in your first half. 28-7. Edna Karr up on the St. Augustine Purple Knights. Wow, what a start for Edna Karr.
67 points last week on Warren Easton. And I'm told that, by somebody who keeps track of that kind of thing. Warren Easton's been playing football for 100 years. That was the most points ever scored on a Warren Easton team.
Wow.
It was the 67 that Karr scored on them last week.
Yeah, and then you look at it, a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side for Warren Easton. And you can tell last night, especially without Jeray Johnson, was the difference. Because look what happened last night against Booker T. Jeray Johnson returns, huge difference, and Easton wakes up and scores 56.
Yep. Still got a lot of time in this game. Like I said, 10:29 of the second quarter. It's a 21-point lead for Edna Karr. Still time for them to do something. And the Purple Knights came back last week against the #1 team in the state at the time, Zachary, down 17-3, and see what they can do it this week.
Yes, sir. Let's see what happens here. And here's Karr kicking off. Hunter with a nice kickoff. They take it from the 12. It is Hill. Hill, great coverage by the special teams of Edna Karr. 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
Okay, now they've got to come out here and just kind of settle down. 28-7. They are capable of big plays. They have big play people outside. Langford's a big play person. Josh Jackson. They've got people, skill position people, and they can score very quickly.
And I think they need to set the tone a little bit, not just with the run game, a little bit of screens and stuff like that to get some yards, get much yards as possible to get a consistent drive. 4 receiver sets, 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights. And Cooper, no, incomplete. He tried to throw it to the middle to Karash Johnson, a little bit behind him. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you what, this secondary is so well schooled. That was number 5 you see right there. Michael Richard. He's the guy who is committed to the University of Nebraska. Excuse me. He is going to Louisiana Tech, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's committed to Louisiana Tech. It's Ryan Robinson is committed to Nebraska. But Richard really played that one very well. Timing was very good on it, and he was where he's supposed to be. Well-coached secondary for Edna Karr.
And handoff is to Langford, nothing doing. The Karr defense once again, and they are plugging things up. Credit 90, Devon Taylor with the tackle.
As I said, we've been in recent years, Karr has had some teams where they've had 2 or 3, 4 or 5-star athletes on it. They really don't have that on this team, but they have a lot of really good high school football players and a lot of players who are going to play college football someplace.
3rd down and 10. And back to pass. Cooper, pressure's coming. He goes down. The Karr defense has been all over the place this first half. Jonathan Bax, and also Ryan Ross.
You know, when you look at the personnel St. Aug has in its offensive front, you know, I mean, they've got some people up there. They've got some pretty good people up there. Tyree Adams and Troy Smith, you know, their tackles, you know, that's two of the best tackles really in the state, offensive tackles. And at that particular time, they reined in on Amari Cooper.
Very much agreed. Stuart McCall will punt it. Good snap, pressure coming, and he gets it off. High one. It'll take a call bounce. Cougars with great field position inside the St. Augustine 37-yard line.
Good field position for the Cougars once again. Like you said, they'll take off. Start this one at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10, with 8:51 to go in the second period, and they're leading by 21, 28-7.
And I tell you, this right here, this is almost reminiscent of last week. Purple Knights got to get something going. They got to get something going quickly. 1st and 10, Edna Karr. As they start inside the 37, 4 receiver sets. We got 3 to the right, 1 to the left. We got 8:51 left in your first half. Now Chris Vasquez in the backfield. Back to pass, Samuel. Samuel is going to take off. Samuel, he'll go to the 25, first down and more. Samuel will keep going, and good run by A.J. Samuel. It'll be 1st and goal for Edna Karr inside the St. Augustine 7.
It's a 30-yard run. A.J. Samuel, he's a little faster than people think. He doesn't look like he's moving that well, but once he makes a turn right here at about the 25 and he turns it on a little bit more. It's Hill there with the grab of the back of the jersey right there to pull him down, and it's 1st and goal, Edna Karr.
Edna Karr 1st and goal, 7-yard line, 3 receiver sets. Vasquez in the backfield with Samuel. Now Samuel back to pass. Pressure's coming. He gets away. Samuel will throw end zone, deflected out of bounds.
All right, that wasn't a very good decision, I don't think, by A.J. Samuels on that one. I thought he was throwing the ball away. He showed a nifty feet there in the pocket, out of the pocket, I should say, and I thought he was going to throw it away, but it looked like he just threw it up for grabs to me.
Yes, very much agree. He
That's
could have
the
just
first
threw it away.
really bad decision that I've seen him make tonight.
Very much agree.
Doesn't make many, but that's one of them.
2nd and goal for the Cougars. Inside the 7-yard line. 4 receivers, 3 to the left and 1 to the right, man in motion. And here's Samuel on the option. Samuel will slip a tackle, ends up touchdown by Edna Karr. A.J. Samuel, 7 yards as he takes it in himself. 34-7 for the Cougars.
Well, I just mentioned about his athletic ability and his running ability, how it's underrated. But as we've said all night, he is somebody who has played in let's say about 15 games, high school football games a season the last 3 years, because they've made it to the finals, so they played a lot of games. So he's played a lot of football. He's seen everything. There's not too much he's not seen at the high school level as a quarterback.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you a little something in a minute. Extra point coming up. Snap is up. Kick is up. Good for Jaden Hunter. 5 for 5 on extra points. That's a great sign for the Edna Karr Cougars, especially coming into the Catholic League. Now, here's the thing about A.J. Samuel. 3-year starter, 4-year starter. Remember, who was the starting quarterback that started against St. Augustine in 2020 and lost at Tad Gormley? A.J. Samuel. He remembers. These seniors remember. And this is why they're off to a good start. And I think a lot of the Karr fans are starting to prove themselves and saying that you don't want to face a mad Karr. You don't want to face him.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to face a Karr that's not mad either.
Yeah. You don't want to face them when they're not mad. But when they're mad, they take things on another level. When they faced St. Augustine in the quarterfinals, and St. Augustine was coached under Cyril Crutchfield, and Jabbar Jaluk was there. Cyril Crutchfield did a little cardinal sin before the game Carr took it very serious and said, we need to take these people home. And it was closed early, but Carr made it a massacre later. And it was like, sometimes you don't want to rile up a bear like that. You don't want to do it. But in this case, it's something that happened years ago, and Carr remembers, and especially all the distractions that happened yesterday, they're putting it all on the field tonight.
And you're right about the kicking game. You know, you need a kicking game no matter what league you're in, really. And obviously, like I said, if it's no more than they hit an extra point, ask Warren Easton. They'd be defending state champions right now if they had a kicker.
Agreed. As Aug will take it from the 15, here comes the Purple Knights. They're trying to get a return. Nice return for the Purple Knights. And that was, I believe, 28. Yep. Londale Caston with the nice return for the Purple Knights.
Good. Gives them some room. You know, field position's been a problem. I mean, some of the punts that Stuart McCall has come up with, you know, he hasn't been able to flip the field. Carr started that last drive at St. Aug's 37-yard line, so they really didn't have very far to go.
Right.
So that kick return puts them out at their own 37-yard line, so that's pretty good field position.
And for the Purple Knights, if you're Nick Foster, you have to score on this drive. This is a must score on this drive just to stay in striking distance in this ball game here. 4 receivers and Cooper, but flags are down. And let's see what the call is. And it's a false start on the Purple Knights that are moving back 5 yards.
Legal procedure.
Legal procedure. So it will be 1st and 15. Now the Purple Knights will be inside their own 32.
35-7. Sun's going down. A little warmer and a little easier to see.
Yes.
Without the sun in our eyes.
And the lights are bright here at Tag Gormley.
Wow. And they're all working.
Back to pass. 1st and 10. Cooper, too high. And it was intended for Keyshawn Grimes.
Just a little high for Grimes. Off his fingertips, maybe through his hands, I don't know, but it looked like it was just a little high. He had to reach for it, and they couldn't make the connection.
And looking at the crowd, still filing in. And like we mentioned, expecting about almost 8,000 to 10,000 for this game tonight. And they're still filing in, man. So this is impressive. This is starting to be as big as last year's Easton Carr game here at Tad. It was that packed last season. Back to pass. Cooper, it's gone. No, he gets away. Cooper, he's going to run it. He's going to go out of bounds, and he gets some of those yards back.
I'm not sure how he got out of there.
Me either. Let's take a look at the replay.
I'm not sure at all how Amari Cooper got out of that one.
And watch the pressure. And it came quick, and he stood up, and he got away.
And all 3 rushers ended up on the ground as he left. So I don't know what Amari Cooper did, but he got out of it.
Now 3rd down and 11 for the Purple Knights. They got to get to their own 47 for a 1st down. 4 receivers. Back to pass. Cooper has a little time. Cooper sees a hole. Cooper, and he goes down. He gets some of the yards back, but short. It'll be 4th down.
Good coverage by the Carr secondary on that one because he had lots of time to look, and when time ran out, he tried to get out of the pocket, and he was just tripped up before he could do a little more damage on the ground. 4th
down for the Purple Knights, and I'm kind of surprised I'm not seeing the punt team.
Is this 4th down?
This is 4th down. I'm surprised I'm not seeing the punt team. Purple Knights are going for it here. 4 receivers. Back to pass. Cooper, pressure coming. Cooper, he's going to go and get away. Cooper gets a block. Cooper slides, and let's see what a spot. Right on the 1st down marker, 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights.
He knew exactly where to slide, too, because he could have gone a little further. Yep. But, you know, he made it to the sticks, And once again, I'm not sure how he got out of that one either.
And he pushed the lineman too, and he's like, move and please get somebody.
That was a big play to keep this drive alive.
1st and 10. The handoff up the middle. Good positive yards for the Purple Knights. And this time, and that is Keith Hill coming in for the Purple Knights, giving a little spark. He gets a good 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Now 4 receivers, shotgun formation, back to pass. Cooper's going deep, left side, incomplete. Flags is down. And it could be pass interference or holding. Let's see what the call is. So the Purple Knights possibly might get a break here. And it was intended for Devin Smith. Pass interference on the Edna Karr Cougars. That will be a 1st down for St. Aug.
What's a big penalty there to keep this drive alive? And now they are at the 34-yard line of Edna Karr, as we are 24 seconds shy of the heat break.
Yep, 6:24 left.
Langford going out for St. Aug. Keith Hill is in the backfield.
Keep him in there. 4 receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. As you hear the car band going. And Hill loses it. Fumble on the play. Edna Karr with the football. Huge mistake for Keith Hill. And wow. Purple Knights was on a good drive.
Couldn't connect on the exchange, on the handoff right there. Hill and Cooper couldn't connect, and the Cougars come up with the fumble recovery.
Purple Knights, and this is probably maybe the most mistakes they have probably made in a first half all season. So 1st and 10, Edna Karr, and they're inside their own 34-yard line. 35-7, 6:20 left in your first half. Jackson in the backfield with A.J. Samuel on 1st and 10. They give it to Jackson. He goes to the left side, and he goes! And the entree, Jackson will be gone! Touchdown, Edna Karr! 66 yards! DeAndre Jackson, and he turns the Jets for the Cougars.
As I said, clocked at 10.5 at 100 meters on the track. He's a member of the Karr track team, and he shows that speed. He gets in the clear, and no one is even close. He's alone in the frame by the time he crosses the goal line.
Wow. Unbelievable. We expected this to be maybe the game of the year. Right now, this is one-sided. Extra point coming up for Hunter. The snap kick is up. Could it be 6 for 6? And it does. 6 for 6 for Hunter. Kick is good. 6:09 left in your first half. You can say A+ first half for Edna Karr. 42-7 is your score.
42 points before the dehydration break in the second quarter. That's a lot of points.
It's a whole lot of points.
But very impressive. Very impressive. As I said before, last week Jackson had long runs against a very good Warren Easton team, runs of 94 and 65 yards. He showed his speed on that one. It's just, no doubt about it.
Wow. And you was thinking Carr's going to do them. They decided to go to the ground. They went to the ground and got in there. And credit the offensive line as well. The hole was right there, and Jackson just turned it to another. He went to the left side and turned it to another gear.
Once he saw that daylight, and there was a lot of daylight by the time he got out there, you knew that he was gone. No one was going to catch him.
Jaden Hunter will kick it off for the Cougars. Here's the kick. It will be returnable. They'll take it from the 14-yard line. Purple Knights looking to return. Good cutback. Here come the Purple Knights. The Purple Knights could try to get to midfield. And good return for St. Augustine. And then Londale Caston with a nice return. 1st and 10.
Okay, good field position, and it's time for the dehydration break here because it's at the 5:58 mark of the second period.
Absolutely, 42-7. Edna Karr over the St. Augustine Purple Knights. We'll take it over. Roll what you got here for the people.
All right, tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute. Get the same sports medicine care the pros receive with minimally invasive treatments and quicker recovery times. Visit ochsner.org/sportsmed to learn more or schedule an appointment near you. And we should also mention tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is also brought to you by TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center of New Orleans, specializing in the treatment of craniofacial pain and sleep breathing disorders from birth to adulthood. Dr. Terry Billings and Dr. Emily Levy offer alternatives to CPAP machines, treat headaches and facial pain, and assess craniofacial development in children. Call 504-832-2222 to help restore your health and live a pain-free life.
All right, we get back to live action. 1st and 10 up the middle. Nothing doing. No gain on the play for Clint Langford. And the defensive line of Edna Karr, Devin Taylor leading the way. 2nd and 10. Man, 5:35 and I thought it was kind of something. It was only 42-20 at the half for Easton and Carr. And here's Langford. Langford, nice positive yards, and he's down inside the Edna Karr 46-yard line.
Well, this is a situation, like I said, where you're down 42-7 and 5-13 and rolling in the second period in this one. And all St. Aug can do at this point is, number one, not give up and just hold to what you want to do and hope for some mistakes, hope for some turnovers, which
of that,
they don't provide a lot of.
Right. And speaking of that, one. And is a offsides on the defense, and that will move them up 5 yards. It'll be probably a manageable 3rd down and 1 for the Purple Knights.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
4:59 left in your first half.
3rd and 1 at about the Karr 41-yard line.
Here we go. And they hand it off. Langford going left side. Let's see. It depends on the mark.
He got it.
1st and 10 for the Purple Knights. It's just enough 1st and 10 for St. Aug as they move the chains.
Yeah, he got it. They're going to measure.
Nope.
Nope.
Chains.
They're just moving the chains.
I guess Roe really knows. Roe knows his football, man. He's like, he got it. Don't worry about it. 1st and 10, shotgun formation.
You guess sometimes and you're right.
Cooper, just a little bit in front of number 8.
That's
Joshua Jackson.
Yeah.
Trying to set up a screen like we mentioned. Try to go with the shorts a little bit, get what you can.
Yeah, these two teams, they pretty much run the same offense.
Yes.
And for obvious reasons, both coaches, they run what they know and run what they like. And they come from the same coaching tree, as we've said.
And actually, it's Cooper who keeps. Cooper, 1st down and more. Amari Cooper, and he's going to make another tackle out of bounds. Good job by Amari Cooper. As Cooper starting to use his legs for the Purple Knights.
I love that kid. Okay, he's slippery when he runs. He knows when to run. He doesn't think run first. And, he also, he got out of bounds on that, okay? Once he knew that he had the necessary amount of yardage for the first down, he got out of bounds. And earlier, he slid right at the first down mark.
And back to pass, Cooper throws it. Caught! Good catch. 10, 5, and then keep going. Let's see, but he's going to be down first and goal for the Purple Knights inside the Karr 4-yard line. 84, Nehemiah Phillip with the catch.
Just a sophomore wide receiver. Listed at 6'1", 190 pounds. Took a big pop there at the inside the 5-yard line, but withstood it and came right back for more.
First and goal for the Purple Knights inside the Karr 4-yard line. Handoff and stuffed. As Langford was trying to go outside, credit Devon Taylor with the tackle.
Frederick Hart, linebacker, also was in on that one, number 18.
3:34 and counting in your first half. Second and goal for the Purple Knights inside the Karr 7. We can see much better now from the inside and from the monitors. And here's Cooper on the rollout, back to pass, throws end zone. Almost picked off.
Woo.
Dangerous pass as Edward Brown almost take it away. He almost had it one-handed.
Threw in the coverage on that one. Play action pass, lefty, sets it up, and wow, yeah. I'm not sure which receiver he was throwing that to, but it almost the receiver almost became a member of the opposition.
Absolutely. It looked like he threw it to the wrong man. It was about to go the other way. So now third and goal for the Purple Knights inside the Karr 7. 4 receivers in the shotgun for Cooper. Cooper, throw slant, caught! Did he catch it? He did. Touchdown for the Purple Knights. 7-yard touchdown. Amari Cooper to Keyshawn Grimes on the slant. And wait a minute, the officials are going to discuss it. They're going to call it incomplete. Wow, wave it off. Let's take a look at the replay on that. And the thing was, did he trap it? And it looked like he probably did.
Yeah. Can't see.
It's hard to see. We got to look at the replay again.
Can't see from our angle because, the players are obstructing it.
And the thing is, and it's a 4th down coming up here. So the thing is on that one, you got to really, it's the same rule in all levels, especially high school. You got to make sure you got to complete the whole play. You have to have it in your hands, don't bobble, nothing that. You have to have the whole process. And one official in the back called it touchdown. The other one was incomplete, and they discussed it. And come to find out, they said that the ball hit the ground, and he didn't have his hand under it enough.
Well, I guess the official the official who said that it wasn't probably had a better angle, because the official who said that it was a touchdown was standing at the end line. He was behind the receiver, really.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right about that.
The guy who waved it off kind of came from the side there. So, but we couldn't see it because the other players obstructed our view, quite frankly.
Right, absolutely. Now it's 4th and goal for the Purple Knights inside the Karr 7. Huge 4th down here for St. Aug. They got to get some points on the board. 4th and goal. Cooper rolling out to the left. Cooper looking, pressure coming. He's going to take off. Cooper twist, turn. He's going to go down. Edna Karr, the shutdown, and they get the ball on downs.
Well, you get down that goal-to-go situation inside the 5, and you come away with nothing. That's kind of demoralizing. But they had to go for it. And that time, Amari Cooper just couldn't get away from the pressure. The pressure was just too much. It was Javonte Harris with the sack.
Absolutely. Big tackle by Harris. That's huge for the Cougars. And here we go here. Karr with the football with 2:58 left in your first half. And Vasquez is in the backfield this time with A.J. Samuel in a shotgun 4-wide receiver set. And they throw it out, and it's Paris. Paris on the screen. Good catch and run by Mekhi Paris. And that'll be enough for a first down for Edna Karr. 1st and 10 Cougars inside their own 18-yard line. Here we go, 4 receiver sets on 1st and 10. Clock running here, 7 on the play clock. And they got to hurry, get the play in. They're going to call a timeout. Because Carr does have all 3. Timeout for the Carr Cougars. That'll be their first charge timeout of the first half. Let's take it with them. This is Prep Football right here on Crescent City Sports. Edna Karr 42, St. Aug 7. We'll be right back. And welcome back. 2:17 left in your ball game. We have to make a correction. Edna Karr used their second timeout, so they have 1 left.
Okay, all righty. You need to mention at halftime you have 2 outstanding bands.
Yes.
Not just 2 outstanding football teams, but 2 outstanding bands, Edna Karr and the St. Augustine Marching 100.
And we will have both bands at the half. Back to pass goes to Lampton on the screen. Lampton, here comes Lampton. Out of bounds. Good job by Kyron Lampton. He stepped out of bounds inside the Edna Karr 43-yard line. Carr's just doing it all. Short, long, you name it. They're executing very good tonight.
Indeed they are, yeah. And Mr. Lampton has had a very good night tonight as well. We got another timeout on field.
Timeout. And it is timeout for St. Aug. That'll be their first charge timeout. And we will have both Edna Karr and St. Augustine marching bands coming up at the half for you before we come back on in the second half of play, as we will showcase these 2 great bands in the city of New Orleans. So we're looking forward to bringing it to you on Crescent City Sports. VK Jones and the legendary Ro Brown. It's been fun so far, but it's been kind of surprising that it's been so one-sided this first half.
Yeah, kind of surprising. It was the kind of thing, after last week, after seeing, what Carr did to Warren Easton last week, I'm not sure anything's going to surprise me about this team.
You're right. It kind of surprises me a little bit because of the fact this is a little bit of a good, bigger, and maybe better opponent. But for Carr to step up and handle business like they're doing, I was already impressed most of the season. This is the most impressed I've been all year because this is amazing because St. Aug is really improved and really good, and they're really outplaying them in all phases in the first half. 1st and 10. Back to pass. A.J. Samuel looking, rolls out to the right. Samuel will take off. Samuel will get the first down for Edna Karr.
Scrambling again. Samuel, I don't think he's the leading rusher, but he might be close to it because, of course, Jackson had the long run, the 60-something-yard run. And, he's had a 30-yard run and some others. So, I guess he's close to being the leading rusher tonight from the quarterback position.
1:45 left in the first half. 1st and 10 Carr. Back to pass. They set it up. Paris. And Paris will take a loss.
That one was read very well. Initially, the person who read it was Jeremiah Keppert. the angular safety that St. Aug has there, number 7. He did the good job of reading it initially, and then his partners came in to finish off the job.
Christian Pritchett finished the job for the Purple Knights. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 with 1:13 and counting in your first half. 4 receiver sets. And back to pass. And they throw it caught, and it's Paris. Paris breaks a couple tackles. Makai Paris with a good gain right there for Edna Karr. It'll be 1st and 10.
Paris going up a few yards, and then he just sat down right there, and Samuels found him with a nice pass right on the numbers. He picked up a little yak, yards after catch, and the Cougars are in business inside the St. Aug 30-yard line, actually the 25-yard line.
1st down for the Purple Knights. Let's say 1st down for the Cougars. And Samuel too high. It was intended for Teron Francis, and flags are down.
We might have a roughing the passer call, unnecessary roughness call on number 4, Shane Peyton Hodges.
And personal foul, roughing the passer. You're right on that one, Roll, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Edna Karr. Big mistake there for Mr. Hodges. And I seen him a little bit before the game, and I mean, my goodness. He's a good-looking kid. And they said a lot of schools are looking at him right now.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid. Yeah, like I said, that defensive front, they're going to have some people playing college football this time next year on that defensive front.
Very much agreed. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Vasquez in the backfield with Samuel. And here's Samuel back to pass. Pressure coming. He's going to go down. A big sack right there for the Purple Knights. 20 with the sack. And that is Clinton Hill.
Clinton Hill, the little freshman we talked about earlier, timeout Carr on that one. So they want to try and get 6 or 7 more on the board before things get started. Remember, this drive started on the 7-yard line with about, I think it was at the 2-minute and 58-second mark when the ball was turned over on downs. So they've moved it pretty. They've moved it pretty well. They're in position to score again.
25 seconds left in your first half. And 42-7 is your score. Edna Karr up on the St. Augustine Purple Knights. And Edna Karr looking for pay dirt once again. If you're St. Aug, you're looking to try to get a stop here.
Yeah.
To try to get a stop, get the stop, have some kind of pride, some kind of confidence going into the half, and this way you can make the real adjustments going into the second half.
Yeah, because like I said, should they score, that'll be a 93-yard drive in 2 minutes and 58 seconds, or a little less than 2 minutes, 58 seconds before the half.
Here we go.
Get in before that would kind of demoralize you. 2nd
and 16 for Edna Karr as they're inside the Purple Knights 17-yard line. Samuel back to pass. Samuel throws slant too high. Intended for Kyron Lampton. It'll be 3rd down.
He was there. He had position. He was in position to do something with that. But as you said, the pass was just a little bit too high. Samuel looking, the slant. Yep, just missed him. Just missed him. Yep, intended receiver there, number 4, Colin Lampton.
3rd down and 16 for Karr inside the Purple Knights 17-yard line. Make it an 18-yard line. They got to get to the 2-yard line for 1st and goal. 3 receiver sets. Samuel back to pass. Looking. He's going to try to take off. Samuel, he'll go out of bounds. Credit the Purple Knights defense, and especially stepping into the running lane from preventing Samuel from going any further.
Yes, because he's had a few very good runs where he got out of the pocket and then made a good move after he got out of the pocket.
4th down now, and Samuel took a loss. Now it's 4th and make it 18 yards. They're inside the 20-yard line of St. Aug. 4th down and 18.
So they can get a first down.
Back to pass, Samuel. Samuel will get away. He's on the right side. Samuel looking. Pressure still coming. Here throws. Carl dropped. Wow. And it was intended for Brian Sanchez.
Well, it would have been well, it should have been a penalty because he crossed the line of scrimmage before throwing
let's see
the pass.
if he did.
The line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I think he crossed it.
Let's see.
I think he crossed the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I do. But
Purple Knights will take over 1st and 10. Or wait a minute. I'm trying to see if they're switching things up with the chain or not, because offense is coming out for the Purple Knights. And it should be 1st and 10 for St. Augustine with 12 seconds left in the first half. And here we go. Now they're switching everything up now. Purple Knights deep in territory inside their own 24. And I believe Edna Karr will get the ball back to start the second half of play.
Okay. St. Aug had first possession?
Yes.
I can't remember.
That's okay.
Old age, and I can't remember all this.
Langford with the handoff. Langford and positive run. And that will be the last play of the first half. Your score, the Edna Karr Cougars 42, the St. Augustine Purple Knights 7 in the Catholic League opener Saturday night here at Tad Gormley. Your thoughts of the first half, Ro?
Well, very impressive first half by the Edna Karr Cougars, no doubt about it, leading 42-7. Offensively, they did a lot of really good things. Samuel is running the team, running the show as he usually does, as a veteran quarterback should do, and the Karr defense has been outstanding as well. They've come up with a turnover or two, and they've had some big plays on the offensive side. They had big plays in the kicking game, with a fumble recovery on a kickoff, and then, they've just done everything. They've done everything. They've done it very well. They've had some penalties, a few of those, and I'm sure Coach Brown wouldn't like, but it's been impressive. 42-7. They lead St. Aug at the break.
Absolutely. Very good first half indeed for Coach Bryce Brown. Great start for the Edna Karr Cougars. Let's go ahead, and we're going to turn it over to the bands on the field. We're going to start with the St. Augustine Purple Knights Marching 100, and then the Edna Karr Cougars Marching Band. This is Prep Football right here on Crescent City Sports.
And now, Edna Karr, Junior Nation Champion, the band is being led by drum makers Malik Gillis and Jaden Jits. Fine-tune your sensory apparatus, calibrate your airlines, and get your camera phones ready. There it is, the most epic and magnificent, the marvelous, the superior sights and sounds available to any audience, anytime, and anywhere. It is the apex of superior showmanship and excellence. Witness the greatest aggregation that is second to none in reaching its highest peak of efficiency in performance. Edna Karr High School Administrative Faculty and Teaching Staff is proud to bring to you the most viewed and most around and internet sensation, the best band in the New Orleans Team Festival, the Edna Karr High School's marching band. Tonight, the band is due to Tear Up My Heart by N6.
And welcome back. We're going to be starting the second half in a little bit. Your score, the Edna Karr Cougars 42, the St. Augustine Purple Knights 7. VK Jones and Roe Brown with you from Tad Gormley Stadium. The first half was unbelievable in itself. Let's get some scoring updates, and also let's get the scoring summary and also scores from across the Catholic League. Roe Brown, you take over from here.
All righty, VK, thank you very much. In this one, the scoring got started at 6:15. Samuel connected with Tyrone Wilson for a scoring toss. That made it 7-0. The conversion was good. Kylan Lampton has had a big first half. 73-yard punt return at the 4:35 mark of the first period to put the Cougars up by a score of 14-0. Then it was special teams again, this time on the kickoff to St. Augustine. The ensuing kickoff, they fumbled. Brennan Harris picked it up for the Karr Cougars and rambled into the end zone from 32 yards out at the 4:22 mark to make it 21-0 Edna Karr over St. Augustine. Clint Langford, the Purple Knights running back, got the Purple Knights on the board at the 4:16 mark of the first period, the second period, going in from 15 yards out. Stuart McCall converted, and it was 21-7 Karr with the lead. But the Cougars came right back not long after that. It was A.J. Samuel to Tavis Williams with a 25-yard scoring pass to make it 28-7. Edna Karr with the lead over St. Augustine. A.J. Samuel did it with his legs this time, going in from 7 yards out at the 8:24 mark of the second period. 35-7. Edna Karr over St. Augustine. And the scoring closed in the first half. After a fumble recovery, a turnover, DeAndre Jackson with the biggest play and the most explosive play of the first half. Outside, I guess, maybe that punt return earlier in the half by Kylan Lampton. 66 yards, showing his speed. As he said, he's a member of the Karr track team, and he looked like it. He had 2 long runs last week in the big win over Warren Easton. Runs of, I think it was something, 90-something yards and 60-something yards. He's a long-distance runner, and it was 66 yards. He covered that one with 6:04 to go in the first half. And that's where we stand at the half. Edna Karr 42, St. Augustine 7. The Cougars, of course, the #1 ranked team in the 5A classification statewide poll. Scores around the Catholic League this week. Last night, right here at Tad Gormley Stadium, VK, John Curtis looked like John Curtis in a 28-10 win over the Jesuit Blue Jays.
And it seemed like JT Curtis has his team coming alive after playing a tough early schedule. They had a huge win 2 weeks ago against, I think it was Glen Oaks. Oh, no. Was it, hold on a second. It's a team out of Mississippi.
They beat a team in Mississippi.
Yeah.
They went on the road and won.
Yeah, they got the win on that one. That was a huge win. I believe it's Glen Oaks, the name of the program, I believe. But that was a good win for them. They needed that one against a power. Then all of a sudden, they come up big against a very good Jesuit team, getting the win last night. JT looked like he's getting together with this team.
Curtis 3-1 overall, 1-0 in district play, District 9 5A. Jesuit 1-3. That's a pretty good 1-3 team. Their only victory this year was a season opener against Slidell. Rummel this afternoon defeated Holy Cross 14-7. Rummel is now 4-0, and probably the surprise, Rummel may be a little better than people thought they were going to be.
I agree. I had a feeling that Rummel would be improved this year because they was returning a good bit themselves and everything. And that's a huge win for Nick Monica and the squad. I really thought Holy Cross had a chance, and which they did, to try to pull this thing off because of all the veteran starters that Coach Satamaggio has this season. But credit Coach Monica and his team. That's a good start for the Cat League for Rummel.
Okay, so next week, St. Augustine takes on Jesuit on September 30th. And Edna Karr will face Brother Martin, the Crusaders, and that should be a good one as well. Rummel out of district play next week. They'll host Scotlandville, a very good Scotlandville, very talented Scotlandville team. And Curtis will take on the Holy Cross Tigers in the side of the district.
Some interesting matchups next week. Karr making a huge statement so far in this ball game, and now they just got to finish it off. You know what I'm saying? First half, very good. I know Coach Bryce Brown is telling them it's 0-0. You got to start all over again, play hard, finish strong, and that's what it's all about. Nick Foster and his team, they just know that they got to really continue to fight, play hard, one play at a time, and that's what Coach Foster is telling his team. But good matchups coming up next week in the Cat League, and we're just getting started for the first week of the Cat League, and what a week it was. There's going to be some interesting matchups, especially with Edna Karr being new to the league.
Indeed. 42-7. It's Edna Karr with the lead over St. Augustine as we are about to start the second half. Very impressive first half by the Cougars.
It seems
in their initial game
initiation,
and
they're passing with flying colors right now. They are passing with flying colors. Definitely, I can say it's an A+ for Edna Karr in this first half, man. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
let's see if that continues. So, tale of two halves, I always say. But the thing is just staying consistent.
Karr will get the ball in to start the second half. Yeah, they'll get the ball to start the second half.
Yep. Karr did defer to the second half, so Karr will get the ball. Kyron Lampton going to be waiting to return, and also 33 Mark Williamson will be waiting to return for the Cougars. And Stuart McCall will be kicking off for the Purple Knights.
I want to make sure I wrote a note to make sure, Jaden Hunter, that's a kicker.
Yes.
Karr, right? Yeah, converted on all of his extra points, by the way. I didn't mention his name, so I just wanted to mention, he did score 6 points. Just like the people who scored touchdowns, he scored 6 points in the contest. So,
and it was funny. Everybody. A lot of media members at halftime, we off air talked about how important the kicking game is, especially for Edna Karr coming into this league. We went from there to East. It was a lot of interesting conversation, but we always say special teams is very, very important. Here we go. Start the second half. Here's the kickoff. And Karr will take it from the 3-yard line. Here's Lampton. With a lane. Lampton with one man, and better the Purple Knights slowing him down. Great return by Kyron Lampton.
So that's about a 43-47. That's about a 50-yard return, kickoff return. That's a good way to start.
Very good way to start, and I tell you, if the blocks would have been right there, but credit Purple Knights just to slow him down, because Lampton, he had to get past at least 2. He passes him up, he's gone. So 1st and 10 for the Edna Karr Cougars. As the offense comes onto the field, A.J. Samuel will start the second half. Chris Vasquez will be in the backfield with him, starting it off. So Cougars start inside the Purple Knights 45. Shotgun formation, 4 receivers. 3 to the left, 1 to the right.
5 on the play clock.
And they got to hurry. Back to pass. Samuel, he rolls out to the right. He's going to throw it and incomplete. He did the right thing by getting rid of the ball, and he was trying to throw it away. The receiver almost caught it.
Well, I think he intended to throw it to that receiver because the receiver was pretty much open, but
yes,
the pressure, he couldn't set his feet. He ended up out of bounds on his backside.
That was that was Francis that was the pass intended for. Now 2nd and 10. 4 receivers once again. And here's Vasquez on the draw. Vasquez, nothing doing. Credit the Purple Knights defense. And 99, Kyron Border with the tackle.
Kyron Border, number 99 in the middle of that. You know, a big guy. You know, I think he had a visit to LSU. And as I mentioned, he has an offer from the University of Georgia.
Wow. That's big right there. 3rd and 11 for Edna Karr. They got to get to the St. Augustine 35 for a first down. And back to pass is Samuel. Samuel, he'll get away. Samuel, he'll get the pitch and right to Jackson. Good yards. And it will be, it'll be a third, I believe it's 4th down. It'll be short.
It'll be 4th down.
Man.
But that was nifty. That was,
yeah.
That was very creative.
And actually,
A.J. Samuel.
Right now, they call this a shovel pass.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it usually would be an option play.
I think that was a lateral
pitch. And it looks like a lateral.
Yeah, that was a lateral. So it would have been a live ball had he not caught it. Yeah, it wasn't a pass. That was a lateral.
So it was more of a run option on that one, and he pitched it. Very slick on that one. 4th down, as Carl will go for it. 4th and 4. And Samuel throws wide open, caught. And that should be enough first down for the Cougars.
He got it. Looked like he got a bad spot, but he still got it.
Raji Dennis with the catch.
Oh, yeah, that's
the Cougars.
That's a bad spot, but he still got it. Yeah, because he was beyond that yard line.
I like that phrase. He still got it. It was a bad spot. And here is
Jackson.
Jackson, who has it. Nice run for DeAndre Jackson for Edna Karr.
Mr. Jackson hasn't carried the ball a whole lot tonight, but when he has carried it, he must have a heck of an average per carry.
Absolutely.
Nice move inside there, spin move, and that's first down yardage.
And you should have took a look at number 77, Brandon Spencer, the tackle with that block. He blocked the defender all the way to the sideline.
Brandon Spencer, and that name probably sounds familiar to St. Augustine people. Brandon Spencer has committed to Grambling, number 77, the offensive lineman. His father was an outstanding football player at St. Aug.
Wait a minute.
And at Tulane. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
That's his son.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Brandon Spencer was absolutely a beast for the Purple Knights.
Well, that's his child.
Wow. He played with Michael Franklin and Jason Burns on that semifinal team. And a throw outside, and he slips a tackle and more. Nice throw and catch. A.J. Samuel to Tyrone Wilson. And it'll be 2nd down.
See, I told you there's a lot of connections here with these two teams.
Absolutely, a lot of connections. They got some of those yards back off the holding penalty. Now 2nd and 4. They get 2nd and 3 for Karr. They got to get to the St. Aug 25. The handoff, Vasquez middle. Vasquez will get the first down. 1st and 10 for Edna Karr inside the St. Augustine 22.
Yeah, Chris Vasquez, he gets the tough yardage for Karr. And, you know, most of his runs are right up the middle, right up the gut.
And here's Jackson now in the backfield with Samuel. The handoff. Actually, there's a play action pass going deep. End zone. Ooh, in and out the hands. Incomplete. It was intended for Tavis Williams, and it'll be second down. And I thought it was going to Jackson. He fooled me as they was going for the jugular on that play with the play action pass.
Great coverage here by number 22, Mr. Gurley, Charles Gurley, and he was in position.
Second 10, and here comes Jackson on the left side. Shuffles and nice yards right there. It'll be make it a 4-yard gain. It'll be third down for the Cougars. Make it a 5-yard gain. Make it 4-yard gain. It'll be a 3rd and 6 for the Cougars. Now Vasquez back in the backfield. They got to get to the St. Augustine 12 to continue to drive.
3rd down and 6.
Samuel back to pass. Samuel throws it high and completes. It was intended for Makai Paris, and it'll be 4th down.
Just a bit too high on that one. He was there. He was there. He was open at the near sideline. Would have been plenty enough yardage for the first down. And now we have about a 4th and 6 situation.
4th down and 6 for Karr, and movement up front.
Who's it on?
Flag is down. Let's see. Offsides on the Purple Knights.
Yeah, and all defenders were walking back like they do. So now that makes it about a 4th and 1, short yardage situation.
4th and 1 for Edna Karr. They got to get to the 12. They got to get to the 12 for the first.
Tried to pull him off again.
That's smart
with a
football
hard
there.
count.
Yep.
Vasquez in the backfield with him. Like I said, he's the tough yardage guy.
4th and 1. Vasquez left side. Breaks tackles. 5 touchdown for the Cougars. 14-yard touchdown for Chris Vasquez. 48-7 for the Cougars.
Well, as I said, he's the short yardage guy. He just put it right in his belly. He breaks a tackle. Guy loses his helmet there, the attempted tackler, and Vasquez just goes right into the end zone easily.
Extra point coming up for Jaden Hunter. Snap down, kick is up. Good for Jaden Hunter, 7 for 7 on extra points. So with 8:01 left in the 3rd quarter, it's a coming out party for the Karr Cougars in the Catholic League, 49-7. DK Jones is going around with you. And I got to tell you, this band is just really going in, but at the same time, man, Karr, this is a coming out party for them. I mean, they just off the bat scored on the first drive.
Well, I don't think it's a coming out party. I mean, this is a team that's won 4 state titles in the last 6 years. So
coming out party in the Catholic League in Class 5A. This is serious here when you're in a bigger classification. Now I know how good Karr is. We know how much of a dynasty they are. But man, this squad in the Catholic League, this is a good impact from the jump.
So yeah, it all came from that opening kickoff return. The opening kickoff return, 53 yards. And, that's how you get things started.
Yeah, absolutely. Karr will kick it off. And Jaden Hunter will kick it off right here, and here's the kick. Purple Knights will return it from the 23. St. Aug getting some blocks, and they'll go down. Decent return for the Purple Knights. They will start inside their own 37-yard line.
Yep, 7:33 to go, and we got running time now, right? Running time.
Yes, running time.
What's the rule? The rule is 42 points
and over.
Point deficit, 42 points and more in the second half, or what? Second half? I'm not sure what it is, but yeah.
So running time going on right now.
If you're wondering why the clock is still running, that is why.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights. Langford with a nice carry. Good positive yards. 7 yards in the game. It goes inside the St. Augustine 43-yard line.
Good run there by Clint Langford.
And that's what happened after the third quarter of Carr and Easton last week. That Carr scored at least 3 more times in the third, and all of a sudden when he went to the fourth, running the clock. So now 2nd down and 3 for the Purple Knights. They got to get to their own 47 for the first. Four receiver sets. Back to pass. Cooper looking, throws it, caught. Good catch by Karaz Johnson. Johnson getting the first down and more. Going the other way. He shakes and bakes, and he goes down. Good job by Karaz Johnson.
Exciting play, exciting player. Karaz Johnson, the wide receiver, as I said. The man who came up with the winning touchdown reception last week in the big win over Zachary, up in Zachary, as they said. As I said, the son of David Johnson, former St. Aug head coach, and currently an assistant coach at Florida State University. And
heat and humidity time out.
Heat and humidity time. Tonight's coverage of Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. The Lamarck Pre-Owned has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models. We even have great deals for under $12,000. Must be a reason. Must be a reason. And tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Superior Benefit Solutions, who takes great pride in bringing 5-star service to our community. Whether it be attracting employees, retaining quality employees, competitive benefit packages, or cost savings, we are here to provide solutions. No business is too large or too small. We provide enrollment technology, HR platforms, and very competitive programs to keep you in the game. We also specialize in individual life insurance contract. Contact Justin Manali at 504-307-8905.
Cooper tried to get some positive yards on the play, but slowed down by Rashard Gonzalez. On the 3-yard gain, it will be 3rd down. Make it a 2-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down. I say make it 2nd down for the Purple Knights. So 4 receiver shotgun. Cooper caught, good catch and blocks up front. And it looked like it was a fumble on the play as Joshua Jackson and Edna Karr Cougars will have it. But let's see, the officials are going to gather right quick.
Outstanding catch there by Jackson. I mean, a shoestring catch. He runs upfield, and I think he does lose possession. He loses possession. There's no doubt about it. And the Cougars fall on it.
Yep.
I'm not sure what they called there on the field.
One of the officials did say it was going the other way to Carr, but the other officials said, wait a minute, let's talk about it right quick and get it straight.
But it was a fumble. Like I said, outstanding catch by Jackson, but he did cough it up. So it looks like they're going to retain possession.
Wow.
Yep, they're going to retain possession.
And we was looking at the replay, and Jackson had it, but he lost the ball when he was moving on up. Officials still discussing just to make sure. right now we're on running time because of the big deficit. Anytime it's 42 on up, the clock starts to run in the second half.
Yeah, and it's, you know, with the deficit, 42 points that we have right now.
And the officials.
You're not getting a whole lot of mouthing off. They're signaling that it's their ball. The Karr bench is. But it's not like it's a 1-point game or anything. You know?
Right.
And Joshua Jackson, I'm looking at him, number 8 right there for St. Augustine. He's just kind of standing there, you know, probably knowing full well that he fumbled. But hey, yeah, let's go. Play.
Let's go. Play. Actually, I was down, sir. I don't know if I fumbled it.
No, he's not saying anything.
Of course he's not saying anything.
He's not saying anything.
All I know, I caught the ball. I was running forward, and I had the ball.
He's not saying anything.
No.
He's not saying that either.
I plead the fifth. That's what's going on.
He's not saying anything. He's standing there.
Yep. Okay. Hey, we'll take a look at the replay again. We're going to slow-mo this time.
I mean, that was
good
really,
catch.
Really an athletic
And he's moving, makes the move, blocks in front, ball is out.
Ball out. Now, does he? No, he doesn't have possession.
He still don't have possession. Never did.
After, he never had possession.
This time we had some really good replay on that one. So there's no doubt it should be Edna Karr's football.
Yeah, once you saw it pop out, I mean, he never thought maybe he fell down on it, but no. So what do they do? I mean, you know, what's the deal? What's you know, what? I mean, they don't use, you know, it's not like they can come over here and look at our replay or something, you know.
Right.
Anyway, the referee is talking to Coach Bryce Brown right now.
And
Bryce
trying to get an explanation.
Bryce just gave him a pat on the back.
It's like, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, that's probably what he said. All right.
Right.
Okay. You missed it, but let's go.
That's good. 1st and 10 for the Purple Knights, and they're inside the Karr 23-yard line. Back to pass is Cooper. Cooper, pressure's coming. He gets away. Cooper throws middle, caught. Good catch by Karaz Johnson. He paid a hefty price, but he held on to it, but flags it down.
Probably be a targeting or something of that nature.
And look at Cooper. What a good job. He eluded another pressure right there. Throws the slant, and oh, goodness gracious. Good hit by Edward Brown, but I don't know if you consider that a targeting because he just used his shoulder. So this is going to be interesting.
Yep.
And they're going to call targeting on Edna Karr. So it'll be 15-yard penalty. It'll be a 1st and goal for the Purple Knights as they're inside the Karr 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was a hard hit there inside the 10-yard line. And a terrific catch by Karaz Johnson, because I think he did hold on to it.
Yes,
I think
absolutely, he did. So now, 1st and goal for the Purple Knights inside the 2-yard line. The handoff, Lampert with the surge, and he's inside the 1-yard line.
Okay, he looked like he could have been 190 pounds on that because he carried somebody on his back.
Yes. 3:30 and counting in your 3rd quarter. And they hand it off again, Langford. And hit up in the backfield. Michael Richard with the stop.
That's the Louisiana Tech defensive back once again, Michael Richard, with another big play, another big defensive play. Lots of penetration by the Karr Cougar defense. Lots of purple jerseys behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
3 minutes and counting in the 3rd quarter. Now 3rd and goal for the Purple Knights. Now they're inside the Karr 7-yard line. Man in motion. Cooper throw slant incomplete.
Wow.
And it was intended for Devin Smith. 4th and goal.
Amari Cooper got a little pressure. He stayed there in the pocket, stood up strong, and that may have been why the pass was a little bit too high. He had pressure coming from both sides.
2:27, 4th and goal for St. Augustine. 4th and goal inside the Karr 7.
The Purple Knights missed out on a goal-to-go situation in the first half where they didn't score. This would be the second such situation if they can't get 6 this time.
4 receivers set, shotgun formation, man in motion. Cooper rolling on set on 4th and goal. Jonathan Backs with the stop. Wow.
Like I said, that's the TCU commitment there, number 7. TCU commit, Jonathan Backs. Quickness off the edge. Cooper never had a chance, didn't even know he was coming from the backside. The second time they've turned the ball over on downs inside the 10-yard line, and both in goal-to-go situations.
Wow. Karr has really been outstanding tonight. 1:17, clock is running. And I believe, to be honest, this could be one of the last series we see probably from this first squad with A.J. Samuel and company. I wouldn't be surprised they're going to be rotating a lot of young players going into this 4th quarter. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And a fumble on a play, but A.J. Samuel recovers. The quarterback and running back exchange looked very dicey on that one. So it's a big loss. Now they're inside the St. Augustine, the Edna Karr 8-yard line.
So that makes it about 2nd and 14. That's up.
Yep, 2nd and 14. Make it 2nd and 15. So shotgun formation with 18 seconds left in the 3rd. Man in motion. And the handoff is to Jackson. Jackson, positive yards on that play. And this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Your score, the Edna Karr Cougars 49, the St. Augustine Purple Knights 7 in the Catholic League opener Saturday night here at Tag Gorman. We're coming right back with the 4th quarter. This is Prep Football right here on Crescent City Sports. And welcome back as we start the 4th quarter in this Catholic League opener for both teams in District 9 5A. Edna Karr, their first ever District 9 5A game, and so far a success. As they are big, and it'll be running time the rest of the way as we start the 4th quarter. It'll be 3rd down and make it 13 yards to go for Edna Karr. Shotgun formation, a man in motion. And here we go, Kyron Lampton on the sweep, on the jet sweep, out of bounds.
Got a flag?
Let's see. Yes, we do. Have a flag down.
Might be a hold.
Holding on Edna Karr. That will push them back.
Do you take it on third down?
No, I think you decline that.
I would decline it. It looks like they have because the punting unit for Karr is coming out now.
Yep. So it'll be 4th down.
Yeah.
A team out. DeAndre Jackson doubles as a punter for the Edna Karr Cougars.
Haven't seen him much tonight, have we? Punting.
Not too much punting on the side of Edna Karr.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen him punting too much.
Right. And here we go. And Key Hill waiting to return for the Purple Knights. Good snap. The pressure comes, and he gets the ball off. And a good one, and it takes a ball roll. My goodness. And here comes the Purple Knights, and the coverage tremendous for Edna Karr.
Wow.
As Keyshawn Grimes tried to return it, he mistimed it, and the ball went all the way back to the St. Augustine 10.
But he hit it. He hit it pretty good on the fly.
He did.
And then he got an extra roll, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a punt.
Yes, I can say that is a huge sign for Karr. Bryce Brown is going to be a happy man looking at this film tonight, especially on the special team side.
Yeah, that was quite a punt, even without the roll.
Right. Right. 1st and 10, Purple Knights as they start inside their own 12. 10:06 in counting in your ball game. The handoff. And only about maybe a yard on the play. 34, the carrier, that's Moses Gray. So it looks like the Purple Knights, they're still going to mix in some young players in there. They still have some of the starters, but they're going to mix in some young players in there in this 4th quarter. So 1 yard gain for Gray. 2nd and 9 for the Purple Knights. They got to get to their own 22 to continue the drive. Cooper back to pass. Cooper looking, pressure's coming. Cooper will go deep and picked off. Intercepted. And that is Ryan Robinson with the pick for the Edna Karr Cougars. The Edna Karr defense still playing and still making plays.
Ball skills seem to be lacking overall of a lot of athletes these days, but Ryan Robinson showed outstanding ball skills on that interception. He's the guy I told you who has committed to the University of Nebraska. He plays the corner there, and he mans that corner very well for the Karr Cougars.
Absolutely, 8:47 and counting. This Karr offense comes back out there, and now the quarterback change. John Johnson,
a freshman
Jr.
quarterback.
And the son of former Eau Prairie Walker quarterback John Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator for the Edna Karr Cougars. Johnson goes back on the screen, and nothing doing. 81, Rogers Jackson was the receiver who caught that ball on the screen. So I hope, and I know you remember John Johnson, who was the quarterback that led Eau Prairie Walker to their first trip to the Superdome under head coach Frank Wilson.
Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah, and of course, that was an outstanding team that got to the Superdome. Defeated John Curtis that year in the regular season, won the district title. Actually,
they didn't. It was a close loss. They defeated them the year before, and it was under Chris Williams at quarterback.
Okay, all right. I believe you, but I thought it was the same year that they beat them.
Nah, the other year they played twice in both years. The year before they beat Curtis, they played them in the quarterfinals, and John Curtis got them back. They played again next year at Berman, close game, and to me that was a coming out party for John Johnson. He had about 300 yards passing, but in a loss, and I mean he played sensational against a good Curtis defense. But it was a spark leading Eau Prairie Walker to the Dome and came up short against Curtis, but had the lead against them early.
So Curtis beat them during the regular season?
Yes, regular season and the Dome that year. And a carry right there in the car. trying to move and groove, and that is Desmond Favorite, the ball carrier for the Cougars. And it was a penalty on the Karr Cougars. It was a hold, 6:44 and counting in your ball game.
Gonna walk it back.
Yep.
And
now they're inside the St. Augustine 47. Like a 1st and 20 now. And the handoff. And nothing doing. So a lot of second teamers in now for both teams. As the starters getting well-deserved rest for the night. And that was Kentez Lewis who had to carry for Edna Karr. We have a heat and humidity timeout, and let's take it with them. Ro Brown, what you have for us?
tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute, treating more than 30,000 athletes a year with innovative treatments for sports injuries. Visit ochsner.org/sportsmed to learn more. And don't forget, tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is also brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. Thank you to Lamar. Ochsner. Gibbs Construction. TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center, Metairie Bank, Superior Benefit Solutions for their support of Crescent City Sports.
Very much agreed. Yes, sir. Second down and 20 for Edna Karr. As the clock still continues to run after the heat and humidity timeout. The option from Johnson, good pitch. And his favorite with the carry, positive yards as they're inside the St. Augustine 41-yard line.
Well, we got some young people out there, as you said, John Johnson, that quarterback, and Desmond, that favorite, an 11th grader, a running back with that carry. And I'm sure we got some other clean jerseys out there, so to speak, as they used to say in the days of natural turf.
Yep. 3rd and 12 for Edna Karr. And the keeper for Johnson. Johnson will break a tackle. Good run by John Johnson. He'll go out of bounds. It'll be 4th down.
4th and what, about, I'd say 7 or 8?
Yes.
8.
Yeah, about 8.
Somewhere around.
Yep. And we'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight's ball game. A huge crowd tonight. About 8 to close to 9,000 tonight for the attendance. But thank for the people to come out and for also watching this game tonight. I know this was high volume of watching this game tonight. And if you missed the live, you can catch the replay. We definitely appreciate it. DeAndre Jackson will punt it. Good snap and the punt. And Karr will try to pin him deep, and that looks great there. And Karr will down it. St. Aug will start inside. They're on 11.
Rolls dead right there, and that's where the Purple Knights will be into business with about 4:07 and rolling.
Yep. Up next for both teams. Next week for St. Augustine, they're gonna have to bounce back and bounce back quickly. Purple Knights, they will take on the Jesuit Blue Jays. And for Edna Karr, they host Brother Martin.
The Crusaders.
And the Crusaders will come to Berman Stadium for the first time. So that will be interesting. And the Purple Knights will run it, and no gain on the play.
And that quarterback now. New quarterback in for St. Aug. Bashan Coulon, who's a freshman. Freshman quarterback, number 18.
Number 18, yep, Bashan Coulon.
Getting him some playing time. And,
it's crazy because That's actually my name, but in a different spelling.
Right. Yeah. Sean, S-H-A-U-N, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
As opposed to S-H-O-N.
That's right.
Like your first name.
Positive carry there for the Purple Knights, and that's I believe that's Anthony Elzy. I believe. Wait, let me make sure that's right, because it looked like it's 39, I believe, or 36.
I'm looking at the interior line for St. Augustine, and I see Troy Smith.
Oh, actually, it was 38, Cameron Doris.
Okay. So they still got a starter or two in, I guess, on the offensive line.
2:32 and counting in your ball game. 3rd down, 7. Cooper, actually a missed pass, incomplete for Coulon.
Slant pass there. I mentioned number 75 there, the tackle there for St. Augustine, Troy Smith. Really good player, committed to Louisiana Tech, and nice young man too.
Absolutely. I think we seen something on him yesterday on Friday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
He was named the lineman of the week.
Ah, okay.
Very interesting story about him. He said he's a nice guy, church-going guy, but he said when he come onto the field, he's got to be a dog.
Well, Kylan Lampton is back to receive this punt for St. Augustine. So
snap.
One starter that's still in.
And a kick from McCall, and it takes a St. Augustine bounce out of bounds. Call will begin inside the St. Augustine 46 with 1:34 left as the clock continues to run.
In case you missed it earlier, we told you this afternoon in District 9 5A play, it was Rummel 14, Holy Cross 7. Rummel 14, Holy Cross 7 this afternoon at Joe Yenny Stadium. I understand that Holy Cross had 3 drives of more than 70 yards, and they came up empty in each one.
Wow.
So, and Rummel is now 4-0, undefeated, and they will host Scotlandville in a non-district game next week.
1st and 10 for Edna Karr with 55 seconds left. As John Johnson at quarterback, the handoff, Favorite. Nice positive yards there for Desmond Favorite.
We're in the final minute of this one.
42 seconds and counting. And looks like that might be the last play as the clock going. Yep. They're going to have to snap it one more time.
Yeah, one more time. And the Cougar bench is celebrating already, and rightfully so.
And absolutely. Straight up A+ for this Edna Karr Cougars team. Credit Bryce Brown and his coaching staff with this one. And I mean, they prepped and worked hard all week. And I think that ineligibility thing with the LHSA was kind of a distraction, but it kind of made them refocus and made them motivated than anything else.
That's the end.
That is it. That is the end of your ball game. Your final score, the Edna Karr Cougars gets it done 49-7. Edna Karr goes now to 1-3 on the season. Purple Knights, and they go 1-0 in District 9 5A. Purple Knights, now they go to 3-1 on the season, 0-1 in the Catholic League. So that is it for tonight's ball game. Ro Brown, has been a pleasure working with you. Your final thoughts of tonight's game?
Well, impressive. I mean, what can you say? It was a good night because it was a historic night. First game in the District 9 5A for one of the truly, great programs in high school football right now in Louisiana and perhaps in the state. I mean, just look at their record, look at what they've done and how they continue to do it and do it consistently. And 49-7, I mean, it's just an impressive outing. Anybody who had any doubts as to whether or not they can compete in any league in the state, if you had those doubts before, and I can't imagine why you would have had those doubts, you should say something.
Absolutely. I mean, huge statement tonight. St. Augustine's going to be a scary team down the line, especially after this loss tonight. They'll be great. They'll be very good after this. But at the same time, Karr made a huge statement tonight. Very impressive for their first Catholic League ball game. So that's it from Tad Gormley Stadium. Ro Brown, for Matt Ship Merritt, the producers, I'm VK Jones. Final score, Edna Karr 49, St. Augustine 7. This has been a presentation of Crescent City Sports. You and yours have a good night.